The Competent Twin. A Raven Darkblade Mystery. Chapter 2. Appeals and Peels. Detective Raven Darkblade sat at his desk, currently 5 feet 9 inches with moderate confusion, arranging banana evidence photos in what he hoped was a meaningful pattern, but looked more like he was planning a fruit salad. His office hadn't been cleaned since the Clinton administration. He wasn't sure which one, and papers covered every surface like geological layers of incompetence. The door opened with Swiss precision at exactly 9 a.m. Detective Darkblade, Corvus light knife, stood in the doorway like disappointment in a suit. Today's outfit was slate gray with a burgundy tie so dark it absorbed light. His shoes made no sound on the floor, as if even his footsteps were carefully edited. "Corvus!" Raven brightened, knocking over a coffee mug full of pens. "I was just organizing the banana photos." Corvus's eyes swept the desk. His expression didn't change, but somehow conveyed deep judgment. "You've arranged them by peel darkness? Is that not right?" Raven's height dipped to 5 feet 8 inches. "There is no right. That's the point." Corvus pulled out his leather notebook and made 3 precise marks. "May I?" Without waiting for an answer, he began rearranging the photos in perfect rows. Each movement was economical, purposeful. Within 30 seconds, the chaos became a grid. Case numbers ascending left to right, dates descending top to bottom, weapon type by row. He stepped back. Pattern emerges. "It does?" Raven squinted. "I just see bananas." "Look closer." Corvus pointed with his Mont Blanc pen, which probably had its own insurance. "Every third case. What do they have in common?" Raven studied the photos, his forehead wrinkling with effort. "They're all yellow?" "The defendants." Corvus's patience was audible, like listening to paint dry judgmentally. "All acquitted on technicalities." "Oh." Raven's height shot to 6 feet 1 inch with false understanding. "So the banana person is making fruit salad of justice?" Corvus made another mark. The notebook was probably half full, just from this conversation. Someone believes these people should have been convicted. The bananas represent the slippery nature of justice, how it can slip away. "That's very poetic," Raven said. "I just thought someone really liked bananas." "Detective!" Jenny Shoutsloud burst in, because doors were more of a suggestion than a barrier. "We have a lead. Security footage from the fruit warehouse shows someone buying exactly 27 bananas at 2 a.m. yesterday." "Who buys bananas at 2 a.m.? Raven wondered aloud. "Insomniacs with potassium deficiency," Corvus said, completely serious. "Or someone planning to replace evidence." They drove to Fruits of Labor, Crimson City's only 24-hour produce warehouse. Raven's car made concerning noises that suggested imminent mechanical failure, while Corvus followed in a vehicle so black it looked like a driving void. "Why doesn't your car make noise?" Raven asked as they parked. "Maintenance." Corvus emerged from his car without a wrinkle, despite sitting. "Regular. Scheduled. Preventative." "I maintain my car too. Just yesterday I put air in the air place." "Tires." "That's what I said." Inside, the warehouse smelled like every fruit having an identity crisis. The night manager, whose name tag read Barry Produce, because of course it did, looked nervous. "You're here about the banana buyer," Barry said, wringing his hands. I knew something was weird. Who needs exactly 27 bananas? Usually people just grab bunches. "Show us the footage," Jenny demanded. The security video was grainy, but clear enough. A figure in a hoodie selected bananas with obsessive care, measuring each one with an actual ruler. "Can't see the face," Raven observed. "But look how they're measuring. Very measure-y." "Precise," Corvus corrected. "Each banana exactly 7.5 inches. They brought their own ruler. Premeditated produce procurement." "Try saying that 5 times fast," Raven suggested. "No." Corvus made another note. "Barry, did they pay cash?" "Credit card. But it was one of those prepaid ones. Name said Justice Seeker." "Subtle," Jenny muttered. "I have the receipt." Barry produced a crumpled paper. "They also bought 1 apple. Threw off my whole inventory system. Who buys 1 apple?" Corvus studied the receipt with the intensity of someone reading nuclear codes. Timestamp, 2:17 a.m., 17. Same number as the missing minutes from the evidence room footage. "That's probably important," Raven said. "Or a coincidence. Numbers repeat sometimes." "Nothing is coincidence." Corvus folded the receipt with origami precision. "Everything connects. Detective Darkblade, what happened 17 years ago? I was..." Raven counted on his fingers, got confused, started over. "Younger?" "The Pemberton case," Jenny supplied. "First use of fruit as evidence in Crimson City. Guy killed his wife with a pineapple. Jury acquitted because they couldn't stop laughing." "Marcus Pemberton," Corvus said. "Released on appeal. 17 years ago. 17 minutes of missing footage. 17 is the message." "Or someone really likes the number 17, Raven suggested. "My lucky number is blue." "That's not a number," Corvus and Jenny said in unison. Back at the station, Corvus laid out his theory with the precision of someone explaining quantum physics to goldfish. His notebook filled with diagrams that looked like modern art having a nervous breakdown. The perpetrator isn't random. They're making a statement about specific cases. Cases where evidence failed, where justice slipped. "Like on banana peels," Raven added helpfully. "Metaphorically, yes." Corvus made another mark. "We need to find connections between the acquitted defendants." "I'll check the database," Jenny offered. "I'll help," Raven said, not sure how. "Actually," Corvus interjected smoothly, "Detective Darkblade and I should interview Marcus Pemberton. He's the key." "How do you know?" Jenny asked. 17, Corvus said, as if that explained everything. 17, Raven repeated, nodding wisely while understanding nothing. Marcus Pemberton lived in a house that screamed, "I got away with murder," in the loudest suburban way possible. Garden gnomes that looked judgmental, a welcome mat that said "go away," and a doorbell that played funeral music. "Mr. Pemberton?" Corvus's knock was exactly 3 reps, perfectly spaced. The door opened to reveal a man who looked like guilt had aged him prematurely. but wealth had paid for good moisturizer. If you're here about the pineapple thing, my lawyer says. We're here about bananas, Raven interrupted. Pemberton's face went through several emotions, none of them good. I don't know anything about bananas. Interesting. Corvus made a note. We didn't say you did. Well, I don't. Who said you did? Raven asked, genuinely confused. We just said we're here about bananas. Could be any banana thing. Banana bread, banana splits, banana crimes. There are no banana crimes. Pemberton slammed the door. That went well, Raven said. He seems nice. He's panicking. Corvus studied the house with calculating eyes. See the curtains? They twitched 7 times. He's watching us. Maybe he likes counting. Or he's involved. Corvus walked back to his car with measured steps. Detective, have you considered that someone might be setting these people up? Setting up acquitted murderers? Raven's height reached an impressed 6 feet 2 inches. That's very complicated. Justice is complicated. Corvus opened his car door at exactly 90 degrees. Sometimes the system fails. Sometimes people take matters into their own hands. Like Batman. More subtle. Corvus's smile was technically present, but emotionally absent. Batman punches. This person is using the system against itself. As they drove back, Raven noticed Corvus kept checking his mirrors. Not randomly, at exact intervals. Every 30 seconds, like clockwork. Expecting someone? Raven asked. Always. Corvus made another note while driving, which seemed dangerous, but he did it perfectly. In my experience, someone is always watching. That's paranoid. Prudent. They stopped at a red light. Tell me, detective, do you ever feel guilty about cases you've solved? Why would I feel guilty about solving cases? What if you solved them wrong? What if innocent people went to prison? Raven's height dropped to 5 feet 7 inches. I don't think I've done that. Have I? The mime case. You said he trapped himself. He did? Classic invisible box situation. But what if someone else trapped him? What if he was set up? By who? Big anti-mime? Corvus made 3 marks in rapid succession. Just a thought experiment. Raven's phone buzzed. Another unknown number. Check Pemberton's garden. 3rd gnome from the left. A friend. I need to go back, Raven said suddenly. Why? I forgot to look at his gnomes for clues. Gnome clues. Corvus's expression didn't change, but his pen clicked. Once. Precisely. Gnome clues. Yeah. Maybe the gnomes saw something. They have eyes. Painted eyes. Still eyes. They turned around. Corvus driving like every movement was being graded. Back at Pemberton's house, Raven went straight to the garden. 3rd from the left, he muttered, counting gnomes. The 3rd one was holding a fishing rod and looked disapproving. At its base, barely visible, was a small package. Find something? Corvus appeared silently beside him. Maybe? Raven picked up the package. Inside a banana. and a note. He did it. Check the freezer. 17 years of guilt on ice. Anonymous tip, Corvus observed. Convenient. Should we check his freezer? We'd need a warrant. Oh, Raven's height deflated. So we can't? Not legally. Corvus studied the note. Unless we had probable cause. Like if we saw evidence through a window. They circled the house. Through the kitchen window, clearly visible, a freezer with a banana-shaped magnet holding a note that said, "I killed my wife." That seems like probable cause, Raven said. Almost too obvious, Corvus murmured. As if someone wanted us to see it. Maybe he's really bad at keeping secrets. 20 minutes later, with Jenny and a warrant, they opened Pemberton's freezer. Inside, 17 frozen pineapples, and photos, and a journal detailing the murder. He kept evidence of his own crime, Jenny said, amazed. For 17 years. Guilt? Corvus said simply. It preserves things. They arrested Pemberton, who confessed immediately, claiming the banana in his garden had awakened his conscience. Raven was hailed as a hero for following his gnome-based intuition. That night, Raven sat in his office staring at the banana photos. Something bothered him. The anonymous tips, the convenient evidence, the way Corvus always seemed to know what would happen next. His phone rang. "Hello, Raven." The voice was disguised but familiar. "Enjoying your success?" "Who is this?" "A friend. Someone who helps you solve cases. Someone who ensures justice." "Are you the banana person?" A pause. "I'm someone who fixes mistakes." "Your mistakes?" "Everyone's mistakes." The line went dead. Raven's height fluctuated wildly as he tried to process this. Someone was helping him solve cases? But why? Meanwhile, exactly 1 mile away, Corvus' light knife sat at exactly 5 feet 11 inches at his perfectly organized desk. He crossed out a name in his notebook. Marcus Pemberton, corrected. Below it, a list of names. All acquitted criminals. All future targets. At the bottom, circled in red. Raven Dark Blade, final correction. He made one more note. Phase 2, initiated. Then he placed a banana on his desk. Exactly 7.5 inches. Curved at precisely 15 degrees. Perfect. To be continued systematically. Author's note. This chapter is dedicated to everyone who's ever been helped by anonymous tips that were definitely not part of an elaborate revenge scheme. Also to garden gnomes, who see everything but say nothing. Any resemblance to actual produce-based justice is purely coincidental. Remember, freezers are for food, not 17-year-old murder evidence.